And we are live. What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world, Bitcoin Ben. Shout out to my fellow truck drivers up in Canada. I love Canada. My friends, you piss off a bunch of truck drivers and they will shut your shit down. I mean, we don't play. We got no time for all this bullshit. And the whatever he is, president or the what is he up there? He's a dick. I know that. But he's prime minister. The prime minister has evacuated. If you flee your country because of a revolution, don't you give up your prime ministership? I mean, he's no longer in the country. Apparently, he's in America. Can't we kick him the shit out? Just a little cheers to my Canadian friends. Keep on trucking, drivers. All right, let's talk about cryptos. There's something I want every one of you to realize, and there's a reason that the headline of this episode is Alert, Sell All Your Dollars for Bitcoin ASAP. The transition is happening. See, for years, if you've watched my show, and please hit like and subscribe to the channel for nothing but good news on cryptocurrencies and the Bitcoin. You'll never find a day where I am negative on cryptos. You'll never find a day where I am negative on the Bitcoin. And I'll tell you why. Because I see it for what it is. This is a revolution in fast forward that is exactly mimicking the revolution once America was landed on and once America started growing as a nation. Cryptocurrency is a new world. Cryptocurrency is a new existence. It's land. It's property. You think of the Bitcoin as a country. Think of the Bitcoin as land. And every Satoshi is 1 mile. The more, or let's say acre, every Satoshi is an acre of land that you own in the future metaverse. That's as simple as I can explain it. For every Satoshi that you own, You own 1 acre of land in the future world, because we have news coming out. We have reports coming out that show exactly what I'm saying and exactly what I have been saying for years. I have said for probably 5 years now, California will have its own currency, that Illinois will have its own currency. Remember, a currency can be represented by a claim, a certificate of claim. That's what these are. These are certificates of claims. All right. Now, let me elaborate. I'm going to share a few screens here. All right. First off, we have El Salvador plans the first Bitcoin city backed by Bitcoin bonds. Now, extremely important, but more importantly, is that El Salvador recognizes the Bitcoin as legal tender. You can legally shop with the Bitcoin in El Salvador. Now, let's move on. Next, we have state senator introduces a bill to make Bitcoin legal tender in Arizona. And this is how you get around it. The U.S. Constitution doesn't allow individual states to create their own legal tender. However, if they are adopting a general currency, a globally recognized currency as legal tender, they're good. That's why Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, several other states recognize gold or silver as legal tender, because they do not control the creation of it. They do not control. We remember the U.S. Constitution doesn't allow individual states to create their own legal tender. However, it does allow them to create a certificate of claim on a legal tender. Let me put it this way. Arizona could make Bitcoin legal tender. Then they could create an Arizona token that was redeemable in actual Bitcoin or US dollar. It's exactly like a bond. It would be a Arizona bond that would be backed with Bitcoin, just like any other Arizona bond would be backed by taxation of the Arizona citizens. It's just another form of labor value, See, my friends, what most people don't wrap their heads around is that there's no slowing this down. There's no stopping this. They can do whatever they think they can do, but they can't stop it. Trust me, if they could, they would, but they can't. It is decentralized. They can't do anything. All they can do is tell you how bad it is. All right? All they can do is tell you how if you adopt the Bitcoin as legal tender, oh, you're going to disrupt the system. Yeah, no shit. All right, the IMF telling the president of El Salvador that 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 he should reconsider his his Bitcoin as legal tender is the equivalent of somebody breaking into your house and then asking you to reconsider owning a gun. Excuse me, I'm here to rob your house. You owning a gun is going to hamper my efforts. Could you please throw your gun out the window while I rob your house? I'd appreciate it. That's the equivalent of the IMF asking the president of El Salvador to not recognize the Bitcoin. Oh, here you go. Here we go. As a legal tender. The Bitcoin will save your country. The Bitcoin will create an economic system in your country that is value-added economics. And we here at the IMF, we don't like value-added economics, because it doesn't allow us to print up or encourage our member banks to print up fiat and manipulate the people. It's really putting a little pressure on our criminal system we got going here. So the president of El Salvador's response is basically, IMF, why don't you go F yourself? And I don't blame him. Because when you have an asset, when you have a currency that can literally pull your country out of poverty. And choosing not to use that is basically you saying to the electric or the electors or the people in the country, hey, this would be good for you, so I'm going to say no to it. And that means that I'm choosing the option that's bad for you. Like I said, the IMF asking El Salvador to not recognize the Bitcoin as legal tender is the equivalent of somebody who has been robbing your house for the last 70 years on a daily basis, asking you, could you not actually buy a weapon to protect yourself? Because if you have a weapon to protect yourself from us, it makes it harder for us to rob you. You understand what we're saying, Mr. President? Yeah, we'd appreciate if you don't protect your citizens from us. Thanks a lot. Now, remember, America is just a group of states. It's the equivalent of the European Union. The American Union is the United States. So Missouri is a separate legal entity from Illinois. It's why we got borders. Now, prior to 1789, I think, 1789, we did not, as a group, as a confederate, all right, we did not have one single currency that we all agreed on. So New York had the New York dollar. Virginia had the Virginia dollar. Connecticut had the Connecticut dollar. All right. The South had the Dixie dollar. These were all different currencies. And that's what led us away from the Confederacy and actually caused us to move into the constitutional republic, was currency. See, America originally was just a trade union. That's it. The federal government was created as a trade union entity that would resolve trade conflicts amongst the group of the Confederate States. So if New York had a trade issue with Virginia, they would go to the federal court and they would resolve the issue at the federal court. That's why the federal government is so reliant on the Commerce Clause. They use the Commerce Clause for everything. Do you know that they use the Commerce Clause in Roe versus Wade? Yeah, abortion. They use the Commerce Clause in the National Abortion Bill because they use the excuse that anything that crosses over state lines is federal territory and can be regulated. If you ship a good from New York to Florida, the federal government recognizes that as their territory and that they can regulate it. Well, that's not accurate. In the original writing of the Constitution, the federal government was able, or was the entity that would actually help resolve the legal issues between New York and, say, Florida. But they had no regulative authority to do anything. They were just acting as a court where they could resolve the issue, not regulate the issue. Now, bring in Bitcoin. Oh, hang on a second. Now, here's a word from the sponsor, CALIX Solutions.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from CALIX Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from CALIX Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calixsolutions.io.
And we're back. Once again, if you're holding your cryptos or you are dealing with your cryptos on a laptop that you also use for your regular email, Amazon, whatever else, you're asking to lose your cryptos. You need to get a CALIX Solutions crypto laptop, specifically designed by you. We add our software, links, and everything to protect you. And when you receive your laptop, we actually do an hour unboxing Zoom call with you to show you how to set up your laptop. There you go. Give Patrick a call or text at 702-845-8276 or go directly to the website, which is www.calixsolutions.io, and you can order your laptop there. We offer PC and Apple. There you go. Now, let's go back over here. And state senator introduces bill to make Bitcoin legal tender in Arizona. My friends, this is just the beginning. Let's go to the next one. All right. Texas governor candidate Don Huffins will make Bitcoin a legal tender in Texas if elected. You think this is going to stop? See, I don't know if you know this or not, but Texas. Hey guys, could you close this door once you walk out? Thank you, sir. So, Texas now is talking about making Bitcoin legal tender. Did you know Texas has its own gold reserves? Did you know that Texas, a lot of electric companies are now mining cryptocurrencies? This is not going to slow down, my friends. And for those of you, hang on a second. All right. For those of you who understand the big picture, remember, all right, remember what I said, that every Satoshi is like an acre of land in the new world. Texas will adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Florida will adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Arizona will adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. The only ones that will not want to is the progressive states. California won't want to, but they will. New York, they won't want to, but they will. Because it's the people. It's the people of the states. You've heard of everybody, let's vote with our dollars. Yeah, let's vote with our dollars, or lack of dollars. Let's vote with our currency. You want an honest vote? Vote with your dollar. You want an honest election? Elect what currency you want to hold your labor value in. And I want you guys to understand something. Now, the rest of the show, for about 15 or 20 minutes, we are going to talk about this. This is the Bitcoin supply and inflation over time. We are in 2022 right here, approximately right here, right? We're right here. We have 2022, 2023, 24, 25, 26, and 27. All the way up to about 2030. We got about 8 years. 8 years of volatility in the price of Bitcoin. I hear people all the time who say, oh, the Bitcoin's too volatile. It's too volatile. It's too volatile. Well, let me tell you something that's going to change your mind on that volatility. Going from poor to rich is a volatile movement. When you are poor, it is a volatile movement in your life to go to rich. Your life is completely changed when you go from poor to rich. So let me rephrase this. Holding the Bitcoin and accumulating more Bitcoin will be very volatile to your poverty. If you don't want to live through the pain and the stress of getting wealthy, please, by all means, do not purchase any friggin' Bitcoin. If you don't want to have to suffer and just barely make it through as you become wealthy, please, by all means, don't. Anybody who tells you that you shouldn't hold the Bitcoin because it's volatile, ask them, is going into an elevator volatile? Yes, you are rapidly moving up in an elevator, but it is volatile. Oh yeah. You could stop, you could go down a little bit, you could go up a little bit, you could go down a little bit, up a little bit. This is the lie that everybody in mainstream is telling you. Growing wealthy is a volatile shift from poverty to wealth. And if you, right, we're right here, 2022. If you wait until the Bitcoin price is stable, guess what? You're the last mother plucker. Well, I don't want to gain all that wealth. Me getting that wealthy is just way too volatile. I'm going to stay poor consistently. That's my game plan. I'm very happy with the consistency of my poverty. That's what people are telling you. Don't get into Bitcoin because going from poor to rich is a big change. It's very, very volatile. You may not always know how to handle the wealth you're accumulating. Do you want that insecurity of having too much money? Do you want the insecurity of holding an asset that over a 4-year period has never lost money? Do you want that kind of volatility in your life? Do you want, I'll use an example, walk up to a homeless person and go, I'll give you that house up on top of that hill to live in, but you've got to walk there. And there's quite a few hills getting up to that house. Do you want that volatility of that walk? Do you want the ups and downs of the hills you'll have to climb in order to reach that house on the hill, there, homeless man? Or would you like the predictability of your poverty, that every day you will be just as poor as you are today, but it's predictable? That's right. You'll never be surprised with wealth. Woo! You don't want all that. All right. This is what people are telling you. I'm just telling you in an honest way. See, they don't want you guys actually purchasing Bitcoin. So they tell you it's volatile. Yeah. For the last 12, 13 years, the Bitcoin has been very volatile on going up. But it's gone up every time. You know what you have to do? You just have to accumulate it. Let me give you another example. All right. We just landed on Plymouth Rock, and people start accumulating acres. Remember, 8 acres are the equivalent to a Satoshi. 1 Satoshi is equal to 1 acre of land in America in 1650. Let's just use a round number. So you get off at Plymouth Rock and you start claiming acreage. And all your friends are like, what are you doing? What are you doing with this island here? What the hell you want this island for? Well, I bought it off the Indians. Okay. Why? Why do you want this island? This island's junk. That island is eventually New York or Long Island. That's what we're talking about. That's what we are talking about. Is although right now, one Satoshi is cheap and may look irrelevant, that one Satoshi in the future is going to be a lot. That 100 Satoshis is going to be a lot. That 100,000 Satoshis is going to be a lot. Because it is digital property. It is digital land. It's just the country, the land that is known as Bitcoin is new. It's the new world. It's the new world that is decentralized. The IMF is scared shitless that countries are going to be able to go around the SWIFTs. You're going to hear all kinds of stuff from the IMF and the Federal Reserve and Joe Biden and his executive order he writes, and then he signs it with a friggin' crayon and he drips a little pudding on it. They don't want something outside of their control, especially a currency, especially a deflationary currency. Because let me tell you what the Bitcoin's job is. Do you know what the one job that Bitcoin has? One job. That's it. Is to eat fiat currencies. That's Bitcoin's only job. The Bitcoin wakes up in the morning, looks around and goes, all right, I got to go eat some currencies. Because it's a global decentralized, deflationary currency. Its opposite is fiat. It eats fiat. It eats value. It absorbs value. That's where we're at, folks. And as we move along, it's just going to eat more and more fiat. They can manipulate the numbers for a while. Yeah. They've been doing it for years. Trust me, if the federal government and the global government structure hadn't injected themselves into the Bitcoin market we would be at $500,000 of Bitcoin right now. But they've manipulated it as much as they can. They've been holding down. They've been printing money to hold the Bitcoin down. What do you think the futures market is? Think about that. Once I say this, it ends the argument. Show me another commodity that has a futures market but doesn't have an ETF on the actual commodity. See, there's ETFs for corn. There's ETFs for almost every other commodity. But they won't allow an ETF for physical Bitcoin. But they will allow an ETF for a Bitcoin futures that resolves in dollars. They're trying to create the equivalent of the COMEX with silver, where they can manipulate it with paper. Now see, with silver, that'll work. That'll work all day long and twice on Tuesday. But it will not work with Bitcoin. Not for long. Because Bitcoin is a ledger. It is a digital ledger. No one can sell any real Bitcoin without someone knowing about it, because it's a ledger. The transaction of ownership is on the blockchain. They can only manipulate that for so long. And they can only manipulate it by front running and doing illegal things. See, our government is absolutely criminal. The SEC, absolutely criminal. It's just we don't recognize them as the mafia. We just recognize them as the elected officials. Well, what's the difference? Nothing. The federal government is worse than the mafia, because the mafia just exists. The government makes you think that they're there to help you. The mafia just lets you know you owe them money. It's all a scam. But Texas, Arizona, El Salvador, Iran, all these other places are walking away from the U.S. government mafia. You can too. You know how you do it? You keep as little in fiat as possible. I have a link under my video here for an over-the-counter called Caleb and Brown. You use my link, you save, I think, 30% on every like buy and sell you ever do. You save 30% on every transaction every time. That, my friends, and it's a 24-hour white glove service. So you actually talk to a person one-on-one. Now, anybody who's ever used Caleb and Brown, I've never heard one complaint of their service. They walk you through it. Voila. You wire the money, they send you the cryptos. They have access to over 200 cryptocurrencies. And you actually have a person. You have a rep that is your rep. You've got their cell phone number. Try and call Coinbase. Try and call Gemini. Try and call any of these major exchanges. No. Because they go for volume. Caleb and Brown goes for quality and security. That's why me and CALIX Solutions have always recommended Caleb and Brown. Click the link and just open an account as having an extra account for your exit strategy. As we move along, as we go along, good luck trying to sell or buy in a bull run on Coinbase. Good luck with that. Where with Caleb and Brown, you just call them and go, hey, I want to buy 10 grand worth of Litecoin. Okay. Wire it over. Okay. All right. All right, thanks. All right, bye. Click. That's it. You're done. 24-hour service. That's nice. All right, everyone, got to wrap this up. Now, like I say at the head of the line, alert, sell all your dollars for Bitcoin ASAP. The transition is happening. Get your wealth into the appreciating asset and out of the depreciating currency. And then get your shit on your own laptop. This should be the first thing you do is call.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from CALIX Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from CALIX Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calixsolutions.io.
Everybody, have a great day. And here we go. We have a user of Caleb and Brown. They are super helpful and help with dumb questions too. Everybody, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock right here. Bye-bye, guys. Buy Bitcoin.